The Nintendo Wii has a lot of bad games, and we all know that. It's like when Nintendo created the Wii, they said, alright, we'll have Wii Sports, a Mario game, and I don't know, over 1,000 terrible games. Sound good? So today, I wanted to take a different approach to the formula, and check out some technically bad Wii games, but ones that I kinda like. These games are crap, but charming. They're terrible, but kinda alright. Apart from my love life, Shrek the Third is the most depressing thing I've ever experienced. Seriously, why'd you have to do this? Shrek babies? The first two movies are cinematic masterpieces that will forever live on in our hearts. The third movie is something you'd expect there to be like a licensed Wii game crapped out shortly after the movie's release.
It's not so bad, Shrek. It's, slenderizing.
All right, that's enough. I'm not wearing this.
Oh, makes sense. So as you could guess, this is Shrek the Third, a game that's honestly not too bad. You know, if you take away the problems with every third-party game being on the Wii. The game is an action-adventure beat-em-up that loosely follows the plot of the third movie. It's kinda like Shrek 2 the game in a lot of ways. You go from level to level, completing simple objectives and punching people in the face. And just like Shrek 2 the game, there is a guilty pleasure to playing something like this. It's simple and knows what it wants to be. It also has people doing Shrek impressions.
We don't have a crew, Donkey. They're trying to steal our boat.
That's not Austin Powers! But wait a minute, this beat 'em up is on the Wii, so of course...
Time to shake things up!
The game uses motion controls for combat, as Pinocchio is so elegantly demonstrating. Even he knows it's a stupid idea, look at his face. When a game is 90% combat on the Wii, that means you're basically doing this non-stop, which eventually turns into this. Nobody wants to get walked in on while doing this. It's been years since I've seen the movie, so I honestly don't even remember how accurate the plot is. Honestly, it's okay. What keeps it from being good are the motion controls. But again, I can't blame the game for that. The Wii had one gimmick, and you can bet your swampy little butt that every developer was going to abuse the heck out of it.
Hey, how's it going?
You collect stuff and beat people up. It's the formula for a good Shrek game. I just wish Shrek games were sometimes deeper, you know? They should all have layers. Like onions. Cake's got layers too. Now, I wasn't a big fan of Mario Party 8 or 9. Don't get me wrong, they were serviceable games and all, but I like my Mario Party games to have a certain sense of wackiness to them. Like, why are we all dressed up as pirates? I love it. The Wii was loaded with Mario Party clones, a lot of which were hecka stale and bland. But out of all of the Mario Party ripoffs, one that I don't see a lot of people talk about is PacMan Party. The game follows Pac-Man attempting to retrieve a stolen cookie recipe from his enemies. I guess the best way to settle that is to invite your enemies to an island and play party games. What is this solving? It's Mario Party. I don't know what you want me to say. The overworld portion is pretty basic. Instead of rolling a dice, you throw darts at a board. There's not too much going on visually here, but the mini games are where it's at. The locations and premise are always over the top. Here, we're slicing giant fruit that's being shot at us from a pirate ship, and we have to slice them with our giant knives to make a smoothie pool. What? Here we are rolling up giant wads of spaghetti. I'm not sure we should eat that. Oh, and of course, there has to be the mini game where you do this. I love doing this! Wait, it's not the best party game out there. Heck, it's not even the best Mario Party ripoff. But gosh dang it, that won't stop me from praising this game. This is also my favorite 3D model of Pac-Man. You know, before he... Oh my gosh! This also comes with the original Pac-Man arcade game. 15 out of 10. You know what my least favorite thing about the Wii was? It was taking beloved franchises that rarely see a release on Nintendo consoles, and then Wiiing it all up! Castlevania Judgment. The last Castlevania games on a non-handheld Nintendo system were the two released on the N64, and those games sucked! Get it? Like a vampire? Anyway, finally, we get another Nintendo Castlevania game. We take one look at the box art and... What? Who is this? Is that Simon? Why is Simon all of a sudden a pretty anime boy with super revealing clothes? To be honest, when I first saw this, I thought it was pretty awesome. I was a teenager, and anything anime was super cool. Unlike myself. But seriously, check out this opening animation. This actually looks really good. Like, are we sure this is a Wii game? And of course, it's got epic anime music. Then we get to the actual game.
I will show you the power of a Belmont.
And yep, this is a Wii game.
Time Rift. Speak sense, man.
Oh man, is this ever a Wii game? Castlevania Judgment is a fighting game. Fair enough, you want to try something different, I'm all for it. But just like Shrek, Castlevania Judgment uses strictly motion controls, meaning every attack, combo, and movement has to be done with you shaking the Wii remote and nunchuck. This is like the least optimal thing ever, because nobody is going to study and remember combos and movements. You know what fighting games are all about, meaning the game always 110% boils down to this once again. And if you took away the motion controls, we'd actually have a pretty solid game on our hands. It's super flashy and fun to look at.
That is the power of a Belmont.
Soul Calibur Legends also suffers from this. The last Soul Calibur game on a Nintendo console was Soul Calibur 2. Yeah, remember that? They added in Link specifically for the GameCube release, and it was so awesome. Fast forward to 2007 on the Wii, and Soul Calibur Legends has... Oh my gosh! Lloyd Irving from Tales of Symphonia! My absolute favorite game of all time! Personally, this is the best thing ever, and simply because of Lloyd's appearance in the game, I made it my duty to complete this game all the way through. And holy crap, was it a chore! Soul Calibur Legends has more of a story and even more action-adventure elements, needing to explore loads of levels, platform and fight hordes of enemies until reaching a boss. This element I really like. It breaks up the monotony of just swinging around the Wii mode and an NPC, and when you reach a horde of enemies, it's definitely more satisfying wiping out a number of them at a time. There's even co-op, so you can force your friends to have an awful time with you. But whatever, it's got Lloyd. That's the reason I forced myself to like this game. Just like a lot of Wii games, if you could just use a normal controller like a normal freaking game, we'd all be gravy. Why can't you just be normal? Alright, so bear with me. Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, jeez. I know Sonic is a pretty controversial topic. I can't believe I just said that. During the Wii era, there were 3 infamous Sonic games released: Sonic Unleashed, Sonic and the Black Knight, and Sonic and the Secret Rings. The last 2 titles being a part of the Sonic Storybook series, a series in which Sonic would travel into a storybook and would adventure within that world, slaying the monsters that threaten it. It was a really good idea, honestly, and would mix up the formula, keeping us away from Green Hill Zone for the 15 billionth time. Unfortunately though, people didn't like it at all, and these 2 games were the only titles that fell under the Storybook series. I mean, look, I get it. I'm a pretty big Sonic fan myself, but even I have to say that these games aren't the most polished, like at all. Out of the 2, I definitely prefer Sonic and the Black Knight. I mean, come on, it has Sonic wielding a sword, grinding on rails, fighting knights and dragons, while the Secret Rings feels like an acid trip I didn't ask for. These are definitely turn your brain off kind of Sonic games. Very repetitive, doesn't know exactly what it's trying to be, throws everything at the wall to see what might stick, crush 40, you know, all the tropes of a typical Sonic game. But gosh diddly dang it if it doesn't have the right amount of cheese that touches my heart in a certain way that only Sonic games know how to do. These games, much like almost every Sonic game, you're either going to absolutely love or hate. Where do I fall? Well, I don't like getting myself into controversy, so I plead the 5th. I'm curious to know what your favorite terrible quality trash Wii game is. Let me know in the comments down below, because I am drawing a blank. I either know great Wii games or terrible Wii games. Man, I have spent all day doing this with the Wii remote. I've kind of grown to like it. So much so, I think I'm gonna do it more often.